Welcome back to Likely Marketing. I'm Shiv, your podcast host and seeker for new possibilities in marketing. This week, we are exploring the increasing use of JavaScript in web development, its impact on web and AI crawlers, and what this means for us marketers. Let's jump in. JavaScript has become a key part of building modern websites, making them interactive and dynamic. With frameworks like React, Angular, and Vue.js, developers can create advanced single page apps for brands that load smoothly and respond quickly to user actions. However, in its recent podcast, the Google Search Relations team talked about how this shift towards JavaScript heavy websites presents challenges, particularly concerning how web crawlers understand and index content. Now, suppose that Google's search engine bot visits your website. They usually look at the website's HTML code to understand what's on it. However, if a website uses a lot of JavaScript, the content might be hidden until the code runs. This can make it hard for the robots to find and understand your content. In addition to that, when websites use JavaScript, the content isn't always visible right away. The browser or search engine bot needs to run the JavaScript code before the page and its content fully loads. This extra step makes things more complicated. Search engine crawlers like Googlebot now try to understand JavaScript websites in two steps. They get the basic HTML code first. Then they try to run the JavaScript to see the full content. However, this can be tricky because the JavaScript code might take a long time to run. There could be errors in the code, and the website itself might be slow to load. If the search engine can't run the JavaScript code correctly, it might miss important information, which can hurt your website's ranking in search results. Websites that use JavaScript frameworks like React often update the page without refreshing, which makes them feel faster for us. However, this can confuse search engines. Search engines usually look at the full page code to understand what's on a website. But with these dynamic updates, the content might not be there when the search engine first looks. To help search engines understand these websites, developers can use special techniques like server side rendering or pre rendering. These techniques make sure the content is available for search engines to see, even though it might be loaded differently for visitors. Without these techniques, search engines might have trouble finding important content on these websites, especially for pages that are linked from other places on the web. For marketers, this isn't just a technical issue. It has a big impact on how website shows up in search results. If the search engines can't see important parts of your website because of how the JavaScript is used, it becomes harder for people to find you when they search online. This hurts your SEO efforts and can lead to less website traffic and fewer customers. AI crawlers like those from OpenAI and Anthropic are still learning to handle JavaScript. Unlike Googlebot, many of these AI tools mainly look at the simple website HTML code. They often miss information that's loaded by JavaScript. This is a problem because more and more tools rely on these AI crawlers to find and understand content on the web. A recent study by Vercel shows the growing importance of AI crawlers, which now account for 28% of Google bots traffic. The figure shows a significant shift in the digital ecosystem where AI is taking over data collection and search. It's no longer optional for businesses and marketers to make sure their content is crawlable and understandable by these crawlers. It's a critical component of staying relevant in the highly competitive digital marketing space. Furthermore, the inability of AI crawlers to read JavaScript could lead to gaps in how your brand or content is represented as AI powered applications become more integral to search experiences, including features like AI driven summaries, recommendations, and conversational interfaces. If you want your website to remain accessible to both traditional and AI crawlers, you'll need to use best practices like server side rendering or structured data markup. Ultimately, as we move toward a more AI driven web, we need to understand the capabilities and limitations of both traditional and AI crawlers. By being aware of this, marketers and developers can create websites and digital strategies that maximize visibility. For marketers, JavaScript's interaction with web crawlers has profound implications that go beyond just technical concerns. It directly affects visibility, engagement, and revenue. Google Search Relations team mentioned in the podcast that JavaScript can significantly hinder AI search optimization efforts if it's used excessively or poorly. This warning isn't just a minor note in an ever evolving SEO playbook. It's a pivot in how search engines prioritize and rank content. Websites that use a lot of JavaScript can take longer to load. This is because the browser needs to run the JavaScript code before it can show the full content of the page. It can slow down the overall user experience and, more importantly, make it harder for web crawlers to find and index important content. Page loading speeds are known ranking factors for both traditional and AI driven search algorithms. So, slower loading speeds not only hurt bounce rates but also negatively affect a site's ranking in search results. From an SEO perspective, your content's accessibility to crawlers is paramount. Search engines rely on JavaScript to understand your website. If your just JavaScript code is messy, takes too long to load, or is blocked by something, search engines might miss a lot of your content. For example, key product descriptions, blog articles, or even navigation menus loaded dynamically via JavaScript might fail to be indexed, effectively making them invisible to search engines. This creates a balancing act for marketers. How can you create the rich, interactive user experiences that JavaScript enables without sacrificing accessibility and performance? The solution lies in thoughtful, strategic implementation. To make sure search engines can see and understand your website, you can use techniques that I mentioned earlier, like server side rendering. These methods help show search engines the complete website just like a visitor would see it. Using too much JavaScript can hide your content from AI powered search engines. This means your website might not show up in the AI powered summaries and recommendations. If people don't see your content in those prominent places, they are less likely to visit your website. You could lose out on valuable clicks and conversions. Marketers need to think about how JavaScript affects the experience users have when they visit the website. While JavaScript can make websites more interactive and fun, it's important to make sure that it isn't implemented at the expense of accessibility or usability. There are techniques available to avoid this. For example, you can lazy load images and scripts when they are needed on the screen instead of all at once. Or you can use tools like Lighthouse or PageSpeed Insights to find and fix any problems that slow down your website's loading time. AI crawlers are adding to these challenges. With more AI driven applications and search functionality relying on crawlers, ensuring compatibility with both traditional and AI crawlers becomes vital. The Vercel study shows that major AI crawlers do not render JavaScript, though they do pull JavaScript files. They are often inefficient, with ChatGPT and Claude spending over 34% of their requests on 404 pages. While the type of content these crawlers focus on varies, ChatGPT prioritizes HTML while Claude focuses more on images. These AI crawlers are still learning how to explore the web. Marketers should make sure that the most important information on their website is available even if someone has JavaScript turned off. This means prioritizing the essential information is visible without JavaScript. Starting with a simple functional website and then adding extra features on top is another approach. To navigate these challenges, I'm sharing a few strategies that marketers should consider. Optimize for accessibility. Ensure that essential content is accessible without relying solely on JavaScript. Implement server side rendering or hybrid rendering techniques to provide crawlers with the necessary information. Continuously monitor website performance. Regularly assess site speed and performance metrics. Tools like Google's PageSpeed Insights can help identify areas where JavaScript may be causing delays. Stay informed. Keep abreast of developments in AI crawler technologies and search engine guidelines. Understanding how different crawlers interact with your site enables informed decisions about content delivery and optimization. As AI crawlers improve, they'll be able to process JavaScript better. While these capabilities aren't widespread yet, marketers should adopt best practices to make sure their content is accessible. Digital landscapes are constantly changing, and adaptability is key. Marketers can effectively balance JavaScript's benefits with the need to maintain search engine visibility by staying informed and proactive. JavaScript offers exciting possibilities for creating dynamic user experiences in web development. However, to maintain optimal SEO performance, you need to consider how this impacts web and AI crawlers. Marketers can navigate this complex landscape effectively by implementing thoughtful strategies. How do you prioritize between creating dynamic user experiences and maintaining fast load times for SEO? Share your best practices with the Likely Marketing community. I'll talk to you in the next episode with a new possibility for marketing.